Hello YouTube, welcome back. This is part 8 of forging the Sutton Hoo cooking chain. So in this episode we are going to continue forging the composite element as pictured here in the drawing by Mrs. Valerie Fenwick. So this is a half scale drawing. As you can see, it's quite elaborate, so you've seen the first part of this being made, which is here up to this stage. So we created the twisted bars, welded them together and created a scrolly thing. So now that we have the element at this stage, we need to fold the scroll down to the level of this chalk mark here. And we want to weld it from about an inch above the scroll, which puts us here. So I'll put a little mark in the middle, and we are going to cut halfway through the material at this mark. And this will allow us to fold the metal quite easily. So as you can see, I'm wearing welding gauntlets for this, because it's quite a hot piece of metal and you will burn your wrist quite nastily. So wear a long sleeve glove. And cut halfway through, quench off the scroll and simply fold it back. It's quite important to quench off the scroll because you will deform it, especially if you're wellying it like a wally. And just get it to all sit nice and flush. So with it all folded over, I will take a welding heat and I will just tack up the end, and that will make the material a little bit stronger for the full length welding heat that we will take next. So as you can see, for the welding I am just doing a simple pass first just to stabilize everything. And then we'll take another full welding heat. As you can see, I am hammering every part of the surface which needs to be welded. So here it is, all welded up. So that still looks a little bit rough, and you will notice that it is lacking scrolls. So at this stage I will mark up the centre of the welded piece, like so, and that is just cold chiseled into place. And at this stage I will come in with my chisel and I will just split this in half. So yes, I know I haven't cleaned my work and I should have. Please don't send me hate mail. And I am splitting it down to that 1 inch mark above the scroll. So I'm going in quite confidently here because it's quite a thick material. It's just a case of cutting through it until you think that you are most of the way through, and when you're close to bursting through, put a piece of scrap mild steel or copper. Copper is probably better to use, but I split my piece of copper from using it so much. And place that under your work and finish splitting. And what that does is it will A, protect your anvil from being chiseled into, and B, it will protect your chisel from being flattened on the face of the anvil. It's basically a buffer to protect everything. So with that done, I will open up the split a bit more and I will flick one of the legs up and one of the legs down. That'll just give me a bit more clearance for the next stage, which will be to draw out these bits of metal. So for drawing out, as you've seen me do in previous videos, I will use the bic, and that's basically going to work like a rather large ball peen. It's going to allow me to quite easily draw out the material. And as you can see, this is drawing out the work quite quickly. So I left this clip quite long rather than editing it down like I normally do, just so that you can see how quickly the metal will move over the bic. So when you've roughed it out on the bic, head over to the flat face of the anvil and dress it up a bit, square it up a bit, get rid of all those big marks and ball peen marks and just draw it out that last little bit of length that you need. So when you've roughed it out on the face of the anvil, you can then go in, give it a good scrub, and you can just planish it a bit and knock off the corners and start rounding it up, because these need to be rounded in order to match the original piece. So with that all drawn out and rounded off, we will stick a scroll on the end, and you will notice from the drawing that the scroll is facing the wrong direction. This is perfectly deliberate. I actually find it a little bit easier to scroll it in this direction than having it facing the other way, though your experience may vary obviously. So just flick that scroll round and dress it where you want it to be. Just keep rolling it until it's fat enough. And with the scroll done, I will flick the arms into the position they need to be, like so. And with that done, I will go in with some needle nose pliers and I'll just tweak those scrolls a little to get them where I want them to be. So the Anglo-Saxon style of scrolling was to have nice tightly closed scrolls, or quite closely wound scrolls. So you will notice that the item I have produced is different from the drawing, and that is because I need to insert some chain links on there. So I don't want to bend it yet. I want to make those chain links, put them in place, and then bend the arms around the chain link. So here's the finished piece. I'm quite pleased with how this has come out. Here are some more gratuitous images of the work. Scrolls have come out nice, twists have come out nice, and the welding's gone in quite nicely as well. So here it is with the other elements which I've forged so far. So thanks a lot for watching. Please like and share. And if you do enjoy watching these videos, please consider donating on Patreon. Every penny helps me out quite a lot in funding these videos. Here is my current list of Patreon donors. Thanks a lot, guys. You do make my life a lot easier. And I will see you all on the next one for part 9. Bye.